Josh Johnson's show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay, man. How are you?
I'm all right, but I know that that's a lie.
Jeez.
Yeah, you're not doing all right.
Oh, I thought you said I'm doing all right, but that's a lie.
No.
I'm not.
You're not doing
I'm not
all
doing
right.
great. But do you want me to rant about it again? I can get into it again.
The subject of this week's episode, because I based off of this being our second attempt at recording, I got to thinking last night, and I sort of threw away my idea for yesterday's episode.
Okay.
And I switched over to a new idea that I feel like is more pertinent, more topical.
Okay.
It's of the people. It's what they want. It's what they want to hear about. It is terrible Airbnbs.
Yeah. Because full disclosure, so I'm still in New York, as per last episode.
He is indeed
Still here. This is week 2. I'm going on of a 3-week stint. So I will probably leave here cured of my desire to live here. But we tried recording last night. You came over, but you forgot cords for the soundboard.
So I forgot some cables.
Forgot some cables that are necessary because without them, this doesn't turn on or record. Good. We just had an ice cream truck, and now there's just a car alarm going. So this is
There's
sounds of the city, man.
I have a pretty irresponsible neighbor.
Is it the same one every day that goes off?
It's not every day, but it's like too much.
Yeah.
It's to the point now where like it doesn't actually alert anyone. Like sometimes when you hear a car alarm, you're like, is that a carjacking?
Right.
Is that what's happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear it and it just becomes like, nah, that's just Tony's car just sort of doing his thing.
But yeah, I'm in this Airbnb, and the last honestly, most Airbnbs I've stayed in have been all right. I've rarely had like a bad experience. I've had some where you're like, but it gets the job done. That car is going.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I mean,
they might not even be able to hear it. I have no idea.
They might not be able to hear it, but in case you can, it does take. I've started calling him Tony because it seems like a Tony problem to have.
So this isn't the first time you've called it Tony at all.
No. But it's just funny to me because there will be some times where it's going for like a while to where I'm like, I think the battery's gonna die.
Yeah. I don't know if this will. See, I don't know. I can try to boost it. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, I mean maybe they're not
it.
picking it up at all.
But it's to try to talk while that's going.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm in this. I moved to, so me and Jess were together last week. She was in town. Great week, by the way. Maybe we'll get to that later. And then I moved to a different Airbnb because she went back to Iowa, and I'm here. And honestly, when I first got there, it was fine. Like, I didn't love that. Like, they clearly did some like editing on the photos to make it look like it got way more light than it really did, because it is a dungeon. It is.
Yeah.
There is no.
When I came to visit you.
Yeah. What were your thoughts when you came by?
I was like, oh man, I didn't know that you were allowed to like put out an Airbnb, like just offer up an Airbnb and smoke crack. Like it just felt like it felt like the type of place where you go visit your friend who's going through something, and then you realize your friend's not having a good time. Like it seems like the apartment from a drama where it's like, what are you doing, Benny?
Yeah,
get it together. All right, you're better than this. And then it's just like, because the lights don't make any sense. So the problem with the lights in Logan's Airbnb is that clearly this place that he's staying in is like a garden apartment, but clearly it was an afterthought.
It's just their basement, because there are stairs that go right up, so it is just their basement.
The lights don't make any sense in that the positioning of the light doesn't light enough things.
No.
So there could be lights evenly dispersed throughout the room that, when all turned on, light up the room. Mm-hmm. But to my knowledge, from you showing me, I don't know if you turned everything on at once, but when things were on, they would light up a corner real hot. Like that's the crack corner. where you want to make sure you can see yourself.
Well, yeah, because clearly, so like, yeah, there's two switches and one lights up two pretty dim lights on the walls, and those were clearly added later. And maybe they added those, and they're like, fuck, we need another one. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like the way they did the pictures too. Not only did it look super bright, so they probably used a flash. They also clearly did some color correction because it looks like bright daylight, and it is not. It is dingy
in
yellow,
real life,
grim lighting.
It looks like where Rocky lives between movies. like in Rocky 2, he'll be like, I did it. Yeah. And then he goes back to this like real dungeon of an apartment.
And his eyes are so swollen, it doesn't matter. It's got bad lighting, you know?
Yeah, he's not looking at anything. And then Rocky 3 comes around and they're like, hey, Apollo wants a rematch, or whoever's in. Mr. T wants to fight you. Yeah. He's like, I'll do it. And then he leaves the apartment for the whole movie, and then he comes back, and then there's that movie where they're like, Rocky, you're broke. And he's like, oh, well, come see my house. It doesn't even matter. And then...
That's the interesting one, too, because between Rocky 4 and 5, because I believe that movie takes place a couple days after Rocky 4, and by the time he gets back, for some reason, he's totally broke, and his son is 8 years older, and it's never really explained.
Do you ever get so poor that your
kid grows up?
Your kid grows up really fast. It almost seems like a metaphor, like because when you are poor, you do have to grow up a bit faster because you have to live a bit more life.
But it's also like no one's going to help him out. He just brought peace to Russia, and by punching a Russian, that's unprecedented.
Yeah, that's everything that Kennedy was trying to do. Like he did the whole Cold War in like 10 rounds.
But then, so one is just dingy, and I think it has like put me in a weird headspace too. I've been in like a weird mood today.
It has. As soon as I saw you, I was like,
no, because I even told Jess today. I'm like, it kind of took me back to when like I was living alone in a basement unit, and like I was happier then. Like that was okay, but it was just like, I've just been kind of like stressed all day, and one of the other reasons I was stressed all day is because they have a child up there who...
We don't know if that's a kid or a dog.
No, because there's both. I've heard both. Because they also have a dog. That got added to the mix today.
You sure that's not just that kid barking?
I mean, if it's a dog, then that dog sometimes speaks in full sentences. So I don't know. Then it's a miracle of science and nature, and I would like to meet this talking dog. But
wouldn't that turn your whole week around?
I would forgive it of everything. I would forgive it of everything. If they're like, oh, sorry, it's our dog. He's energetic and he speaks fluent English. Like, that would be a whole different.
You know how puppies are.
Yeah, they're always talking in words. No, but so they have a child up there who is can run with the force of a grown man. Like he is pounding that floor, because even Jess was like, maybe it's a baby, you know, babies run hard. I'm like, yeah, but I'm hearing him like speak full sentences, so it's like it's not like a baby.
This is what I think might be happening. Which, in case you even at home, you the listener, the viewer may not know, the walls in New York are notoriously paper thin in lots of places. And the
downstairs neighbors here are getting a free live show, right?
Yeah, like our ceilings in New York are also made out of our walls.
Which is why last night when you were there and we were talking and was hearing the running, because this kid is just doing full wind sprints, front of the house, back of the house for 5-6 hours straight, like nonstop.
It would actually be kind of funny if that kid grows up to be an athlete.
That'd be something.
Like if that's the next Usain Bolt and we're complaining about having to listen to him train.
In the documentary, his mom's just like, listen, he got us a lot of bad Airbnb reviews, but he is a champion.
Yeah.
No, but he was running so hard. Remember, I was sitting on the futon, because it's just futon. It's got that Airbnb furniture where it's like they found the thinnest IKEA shit they could get. I don't fault them for that. That's every Airbnb, you know, so whatever. But I was sitting there talking to you, and then I felt something hit my hand, and I looked down, and I swore I saw like a piece of white bounce off, and I was like, was that ceiling that just fell on me? And you were like, that was absolutely ceiling.
Yeah. This thing has happened to a friend of mine before. They stayed in a really bad Airbnb in Chicago. Now, Chicago, I feel like, has great Airbnb. I have not stayed in a bad one while I've been in Chicago because they're just mostly Chicago apartments. And a lot of Chicago apartments are like really, really big.
Oh, I have stayed in one Chicago Airbnb, and that was also clearly someone's basement that afterthought got turned into an apartment. And it was all right. There was at a point, because there's like a doorway that leads upstairs, like straight up their front stairs. So it is like their basement.
Yeah.
And there was a point at night where we thought they were having like a fight. It sounded like we heard like a woman crying. We heard a lot of yelling. And we were like, oh no. And like they seemed nice when we met them. We're like, this seems intense. I think their TV is just like right near that doorway because eventually we heard music swell with the argument. We're like, oh, we're hearing a movie.
Yeah,
but it sounded so real because I'm like, I think there's a woman crying right behind that door. I think she came down the stairs to cry.
Do you know what's crazy is when you're just in your Airbnb with your loved one and then you hear on full volume Marriage Story blasting through.
It might have been
through
that
your
too.
wall.
It might have been.
And just wondering if you need to knock on the door, see if somebody needs help. And then you hear a full crescendo at the end of the fight.
I think even Jess pinpointed what they were watching one time because it was that, I can't remember the show, but that Netflix show with the lady who's got the Tommy Wiseau accent. I can't remember the
Anna Delvey story?
Anna Delvey thing. I couldn't remember her name. I'm in a weird place today, man. I didn't sleep much last night.
But just the Tommy Wiseau thing is very funny.
Just give me your money. Don't worry about it.
Oh, man.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Sorry, bank.
Oh, hi, bank. Oh, hi, bank. How's your sex life? No, but there's a point like Jess could hear the accent. She's like, "Oh, they're watching that show, Inventing Anna." Is that what it's called?
Inventing Anna. Yeah.
And she like pinpointed what they were watching, and I was just like, "That means that TV's either too loud or too close to the doors." But you couldn't like really hear it through the ceiling. But the other thing with this Airbnb, sorry, you were talking about Chicago Airbnbs.
Oh no, just a very quick thing. So this Airbnb my friend was staying in was once again paper thin sort of ceiling, and the upstairs neighbors were running around and they clearly had a dog or whatever. And the same thing happened to him, but he was like eating a bowl of Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
At a certain point when because he stepped away, like went to the bathroom, and then when he came back, he saw around the bowl a couple of paint chips.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, I don't know if this is full of paint chips or not. Like, I don't know. Like, he was like, I bought this cereal and it's like the last, because he'd been staying there for a week.
Yeah.
And he's like, the last bowl of my Frosted Flakes might be half paint chips.
Is it falling into my mouth when I'm sleeping at night?
Yeah. And so he was like, I think I ate so many paint chips in Chicago because I was sleeping and just little pieces of ceiling were just trickling down. Because at first he thought it was
negative
dust.
for COVID, but positive for lead poisoning.
100%. 100%. Just the idea that you're on your last bowl of Frosted Flakes that you love so much, and then you come back, there's just a ring of paint chips around the bowl. It must have felt like you know like when you're in a building now and they're like, oh hey, careful, there's asbestos up there. Yeah. It must have felt like that because he's like just going to the bathroom, coming back to the table, and then there's just like, and he said that the ring was so perfect that like it felt as if maybe a square of tile had like fallen down. So he knows most of it is in the bowl.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, I didn't see it fall in. Oh. And it's also milk on Frosted Flakes. So he's like, I'm never going to see the chips. Like maybe if I just eat the...
Yeah.
Like
if I just pretend everything's sugar.
Yeah. If I just let it all soak long enough, won't the paint soak out? Like won't the milk kill that paint? He was like trying every way
like
that
in
he
movies
could.
When someone gets cut and they pour milk on it to sanitize.
He was just like, where's the 2%? 2%. Because
don't give me that skim, I'll get gangrene.
Because it was so wild, and he seemed so disappointed. Like even as he was telling me the story, he was looking down.
That would be disappointing, man. No,
Yeah.
it's and then it's like too. I was just like frustrated, but then I knew we were going to record, so I didn't really want to go anywhere. And like the neighborhood I'm in, there's not a lot around. It's kind of a scant neighborhood, like a couple of convenience stores. So I was like, so I just kind of sat there. I did like a Zoom with Jess, and I just like slowly just got like a genuine like migraine, and just so it's like just a kid running, and all like he was running all day. This kid was trucking all day, and it's like, listen, I'm not for medicating kids, but I'm not against it. And it was my God, I was like, this kid.
What's so wild about that is that in the long term, I wonder, I'm not even saying it is, I just wonder if life is actually fair, because anyone who's doing that to so many people, because this is Airbnb, so I'm imagining people are checking in, checking out all the time. Yeah. Anyone who's making people live through that for like 5 years deserves to kind of not move that great when they get old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like the circle of life where you're gonna be in a home one day just really pushing a walker.
No, and I spent a lot of time today too, like just looking at hotels. I'm like, I don't need to just waste money, but like I almost want to just move to a hotel, because at least even I've been in hotels, people have been loud, but then you can call the lobby and be like, hey, can someone tell them to shut up? You can't do that when you're in someone's house.
Yeah, like especially when it's their house.
I'm staying in a stranger's house. That's them up there. I can't be like, hey, can you tell your kid to fucking chill?
Yeah.
Because the whole point I rented this one is I want to spend a couple days relaxing and working. And
that'd probably be the craziest thing that you could do.
It'd be wild.
You just walk up, hey, can you beat him?
I at least want to hear a good trip or something.
That's I'm just saying.
No, so it's like that's just a lot. And then the other thing that is, we'll call it challenging, was that when I got in there, and first off, so I had to check out from where me and Jess were staying, and then I had like a couple hours before I could check into this one. So I was just kind of out with my bags, and it was like a 20-minute walk from where we were. So I just kind of hung out in a park, and then I was like, all right, it's time to check in. So I walked, but it was it's a record like heat wave right now.
Yeah.
So I just had my backpack and a roller bag too. By the time I got to my Airbnb, my shirt was sweat. Like I was soaked. And then I get in there and there's no air conditioning.
Ooh.
And honestly, that's my bad. I didn't see that it said no AC on the thing. So that one's not on them.
Yeah.
And it's a basement unit, so it's been okay. It's been muggy, but it's been okay. Like I'm just fine. But then I get in there, and then I go into the bathroom, and there's a sign above the toilet, and it says, please do not flush. And this is the order they do it in, which was confusing. But it says, just please do not, flush paper towels, toilet paper, or feminine products. And putting toilet paper in the middle.
Yeah, to hide it.
Yeah, and it made me like read past it. I had to like read. I'm like, is this saying I can't flush? Period. Like, is this just saying I can't use this toilet? Because then that's got to be in the listing.
Yeah.
And then there was another one by where the toilet paper is, and that one just said, don't flush paper towels. It said this, like, there's an old building, it's got old pipes, it's built in like 19 whatever, and it just says, hey, don't flush these things, but it didn't say toilet paper that time. It's like, okay, are they just saying like, hey, don't be reckless? It's old building, don't have a party. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I messaged them. I was like, hey, is this saying like never flush toilet paper? And it says use the container provided, but the container provided is just like the little garbage can they have next to them. Like, is it there? Are you just asking me to wipe my ass and keep it? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking me right now? Is to have a very uncomfortable collection? Because okay, but then you got to be clear about like, that shit in the listing.
It feels like they're slowly trying to turn you into Jeffrey Dahmer. They're like, hey, don't use a toilet, and if somebody knocks on the door, you should eat them.
Yeah,
just you can have friends over if they're not like breathing.
Yeah, and like it's probably great to like wear someone else's head. So like just think about that. Think about those.
Yeah,
things.
just do that stuff and then
do that stuff and it's fine. And so I messaged them. I was like, "Does this mean never?" And their wording was like, they're like, "Yeah, it's really close to where like the sewage outlet is. So like it may." It doesn't always get to dissolve, the toilet paper, so sometimes it creates clogs. They said, just be careful. And I was like, what what in the entire fuck does that mean? Be careful.
To be careful while flushing a toilet. You shouldn't have to flush a toilet like you're detonating a bomb. Yeah, like you should have to touch it like, ooh. You shouldn't have to like push it a little bit and then be like, was that too much?
I mean, yeah, like I won't go nuts with it. It's like, and like, listen, I know there are places that do that. It depends on the pipe system. It depends on the placement, blah, blah. But you got to warn a guy. That's got to be in the listing.
That also
has to be in the listing.
It gives you no confidence
in anything. In anything in the place.
The water is clean.
It gives me no confidence the ceiling might not just fall. Like, I don't know, especially with that kid running.
I mean, it did fall. You know, a little piece of it fell.
That's, honestly true.
I also think that when you are getting an Airbnb, you obviously want the pictures to be accurate. My favorite Airbnb that a friend even stayed in, my buddy stayed in this thing, and he was telling me about it. I felt so bad because I told him he could stay with me, but
could have told me that.
This is a different time in my life.
I know, I'm kidding.
I basically was in this situation where I was still living with Jeff and Amy.
Okay.
And Buddy came to stay, and then he was about to move into an apartment. But then in the interim, he was like, oh, let me move out a little early. Maybe I can get to the apartment early. And I was like, okay, if you're sure. And he Airbnb'd from this guy. I don't even know how. Airbnb will let you list things for like a suspicious amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll let them get very expensive. Obviously, there are people. Yeah. There are people. I didn't even know this. There are people, rich people, whose Malibu homes they will put on Airbnb for like actually an affordable rate if you all use the rooms.
You'll see like houses in like picturesque parts of the country that are like $500 like for a night.
I'm talking about a mansion,
right?
Where as long as you bring enough people to use every room that's in there,
right,
you'll be able to afford it,
right? Yeah.
So $500 per person for 15 people. Right. So obviously that's a lot of money per night. Mm-hmm. But like, hey, if you had 1,500 and I had 1,500, we want to stay 3 nights at a mansion, and we just had to get every friend that we've ever had that we don't think will ruin anything. To come with us, I had to whittle it down. I don't want to say every friend we ever had because now it sounds like we only have 6 friends apiece. But basically, he stayed at this Airbnb, and when he got to he knew it was going to be small because the pictures were a little blurry. So he was like, okay, whatever I'm signing up for isn't good.
Yeah.
And it was also $20 a night. So he's also this is crazy. And this is also early days of Airbnb too.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people don't know. I maybe people knew about Airbnb, but a lot of people weren't using it as regularly. Like now we actually compare Airbnbs to hotels. So we'll be like, let me see how much a hotel is. Let me see how much an Airbnb is. This is before we got to that stage as people.
Right, yeah.
So this is still when you had to kind of know what Airbnb was.
What Airbnb was, how to spot like what's
a deal
what's a scam. What's a scam, what's real.
And so the pictures were very blurry. Goes over there and it's a tent for the $20 a night in the backyard.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Is a tent in the backyard, and the guy doing the $20 tent in the backyard, there's 2 other tents. So you're not even in a tent alone in the backyard. There are other tent people there.
And nowhere on the listing it said it was a tent at all?
Didn't seem like it.
Fucking
and so then
wild.
So then he's in his tent, and he's like, it's actually not that bad. Like, it's obviously bad. But he's like, hey, I'm new to New York. I'm like, he's also very young at the time.
Was it like in the city too?
No, I think it was in Brooklyn.
But I mean, like in New York proper though.
Yeah,
like you're in Brooklyn in a tent in someone's yard.
Yeah. I mean, the craziest part of this story is that someone has a backyard. I think you're getting caught up on little details.
I mean,
you're getting caught up on tents and like. Anyway,
I mean, I don't know.
So basically,
Fuck me for getting caught up on the tent. Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That I'm
So-
like, I can't believe someone tried to rent out a tent.
So basically, this dude is in the tent, and then the guy who's listing the Airbnb and has all the like tent people out there comes to his tent in the middle of the night and then just starts chatting with him, just starts like talking to him, which he was like, this can't be going anywhere good, you know? And then while he was talking to him, a guy comes to the backyard who must have just let himself in the house. I have no idea. But comes to the backyard and is like selling this dude drugs in front of the tent. And so he's like, man, this guy's not even trying to like cover it. Like he must not care about reviews at all. Cause you lied that I'd be inside. I'm inside a tent.
Right, yeah.
And then you're selling, you're buying drugs in front of me, directly in front of me too.
Right.
And then the funny thing to me, he was like, imagine if I did drugs, I'd be so offended. You just bought drugs in front of me, didn't even offer me some sort of deal in or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not even making that a part of like, hey, listen, I know I'm making you stay in a tent, but I got this rock.
Yeah. No, man. That was like properly bad. I felt bad for him. He was there for like 3 nights or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
A full on tent. And then there was one where this is when I was on the college tour. And I think I was going to, it was in New Hampshire. Was it Keene? I can't remember where I was in New Hampshire, but I was still doing a little bit of the couch surfing. Do you ever use couch surfing?
No.
Okay. Do you know what it is though?
I've heard of it,
Yeah,
but I
so
never used it.
I was still using couch surfing. I only used it a couple times because it was very hard for me to get reviews, because when people don't know you, they're nervous about letting you stay in their apartment, especially for free. And like, so then I kept trying to like throw in perks. So I'd be like, hey, if you let me stay, I can get you tickets to my show, or I can, you know, whatever the thing was that would help.
Right.
And so I was in New Hampshire. I was looking up places to stay next because I realized I hadn't planned a hotel yet.
Oh, okay.
And I also was still, this is like earlier in the tour, so I don't have the money to really like, I'll just stay at whatever's close when I get there.
Right.
Like
yeah.
this is still a point in my life where I had to like meticulously plan ahead, and I had let this extra day slip through the cracks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I had to like, okay, I'm going to take a bus here to here, and I'm going to like all that routing stuff, which I was also scared to do. Like I ended up paying more because I kept putting it off because I was so scared to do it and get it wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had let a date in New Hampshire slip through the cracks. So I'm already in New Hampshire, and I have to take a Greyhound in the morning for like an hour and a half to get to this next place.
Yeah.
And it's also just so funny because you think of life so differently now, not just because of where a person is like in relation to where they used to be, but also because of what we have now. So like at that time, I didn't even fully understand Airbnb. I knew about couch surfing.
Right.
I didn't even really like try to counter the bus with anything. So I was just like, buses are cheap. Just hopped on a bus. So I'm taking this bus, and as I'm like looking up couch surfing things, I'm like, man, no one's responded to me in time. So I'm gonna have to like maybe get this Airbnb thing people have been talking about.
Right.
And so that might have been the first time I actually put my credit card on Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'd looked up Airbnb before, but this is the first time I've like, okay, I'm gonna have to do it because I can't afford a hotel day of.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just gonna sleep in the bus station or something.
Right.
And so I start looking up some Airbnbs in the area, and that's how I knew I was in a bad area. These were horrible in the picture.
Yeah,
If
they're bad in the picture,
they were so bad in the picture that I was like, this is. There was one place that I looked at, I was like, this is drugs. Only drugs could yellow a wall like that.
yeah.
Like it was like it got to the point where I was like, for you to put it on here, it must have. it had to at least used to have been good.
Right. Either there was no filter on the phone that could fix this color,
Yeah.
or you don't know how to do that, and therefore you can't be a trustworthy management.
Yeah, there was a place where and these are the pictures they're showing you. So they could elect to like try to hide something till you get there. So the pictures they're showing look like someone's been putting out cigarettes just anywhere.
Right.
Like anywhere. And these places are like $45 a night, $50 a night, whatever. And so I'm looking at the prices and I'm like, man, I can't do it though. Like I was like in my head, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Then someone happened to respond that day from couch surfing. I ended up getting to crash on someone's couch. But that saved me from what we're definitely going to be like. No, there was one that was just a dorm, and in the listing of the thing, it was like, "This is my dorm." Like it was like someone was openly trying to get everyone to keep their secret. They were like, "This is my dorm. Just don't like blow my cover." Essentially,
right,
is what they were saying.
Especially in those early days, there was a lot of like, because people were just doing it in like apartments where they didn't own the apartment; they were just staying in it.
Yeah.
Going on there, like I think now it's more rigorous how you get, I think approved or whatever. Because I remember apartment I had, people were just like, "Why don't you just Airbnb that room?" I don't own it. The owner's family lives downstairs. Like that just sounds like I'm going to absolutely get caught. And the lease says no Airbnb.
Yeah. It's
and also like Airbnb, like I guess just put this out there, like it's not good for like neighborhoods and stuff. So it's
but like
but sometimes I gotta save money.
It was so rampant. It was so rampant that every place in every state started putting whether or not you could Airbnb your place. It's rare that you get something that's that bad that it makes everyone collect, because no law got passed to make people say you have to tell people whether or not you want the Airbnb. Everyone just started being like, this is chaos.
Yes.
So I'm personally just gonna say don't Airbnb it, and then that spread like crazy.
Yeah, because it's because now it's like it's just inviting so much into your home, like or a building you own.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I see that there are better deals. Like there are cheaper ones I could get to that are like it's just a room in someone's place, and I don't fuck with that. So like I never would have done the couch surfing one anyway. I just like my own space too much. And
the couch surfing one is so interesting because it's such a community, and I really appreciate everyone that let me stay with them. I only used it maybe 4 or 5 times in between hotels and Airbnbs and stuff, because then sometimes, like as you know, the college will also sometimes have a hotel for you.
Yeah.
So then that also helped me, because I was like, okay, if I couch surf for the 2 days before I already have a hotel, then I'm like only making money this entire time.
Right.
I only have to worry about my food and the transportation, which I had already planned before I left New York. So I was like in a good spot. And yeah, luckily I didn't really have anybody that was weird on couch surfing. Like everyone was pretty much like, I would even ask them, I was like, why do you do this? And then they were like, well, one time I was like stranded in Finland, and just a stranger saw me sitting at the bus stop and then let me stay at their place. And ever since then I've been trying to like pass it forward or whatever. And I was like, wow. It was honestly the most altruistic reasons I've ever heard for people doing that.
And I have a feeling you're more likely to be the recipient of crazy, if weirdness, if you're the renter rather than the rentee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because most people who are doing that are probably like, either someone just wants the extra money. They're clearly chill enough to just have someone in their house.
But couch surfing, you don't have to pay.
Oh, it's just
that's
just nice then. That's
what I'm saying.
That is just a nice community.
That's why I was like, this is crazy.
I thought that was like a rent a couch thing. I never did it. I'd heard of it. I never realized it was just literally just crash on couches. That's nice.
Yeah, there's one of them that you're renting the couch, but then the one that I did was straight up. That's why it was so hard to get people to respond sometimes, because like it's not like people were on it all the time. Some people almost kind of used it like a little bit Facebook-y in a way, where they like especially if they were world travelers, because I think the way that it started was world travelers trying to help each other out. Like I
Right.
live in the Netherlands.
Right.
So anyone in our community that comes to the Netherlands can stay with me as long as too many of you don't come at the same time.
Yeah.
So then to jump into that is very hard because
Yeah.
you have to get a lot of reviews for people to trust you,
Yeah.
especially because it's free.
Yes. Okay.
And
that
so-
does add a whole new element to it. That makes it nicer, but then probably does make it. You got to be a little
That's why I was like,
cagier.
yeah, I was a little scared. Like I remember the first
Yeah.
time I fell asleep at one, I was like, this is it. I should have just spent that $80 and like now I'm about to
I mean,
be murdered.
yeah. I don't know. And you know my everyone does my general dislike of strangers and getting to know people. So crashing on just people's couches. I don't know. There'd be too much pressure. It'd be like, how much do I have to talk to you? How much do I have to like?
I remember
Because I'm not rude. I'm not a rude person, but I like my quiet too. I like to just.
What's the James Franco movie? This one will really bother you. This whole thing. I've talked about this for way too long already. But this story is going to make you very upset. One second.
Okay.
1 second.
The James Franco movie.
Not actually. I don't think you'll actually be angry, but this is. Give me 1 second.
I'm too exhausted to be truly angry about anything right now.
Okay, so you know the James Franco and Jonah Hill movie True Story?
I've heard of it.
Okay. I watched that movie with someone I was couch surfing with, and it was just this very sweet, like incredibly sweet out of a movie, little tiny old woman that that had done like couch surf. She had got on the couch surfing thing.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, someone's got a big dick. All right.
I'm not saying that this is the reason, but this is what it felt like. So I'm not saying she's not a sad person. She was very happy. But it did seem like she would do Airbnb and couch surfing, which is why her couch surfing is even nicer because she can make money off of renting the room and whatever. And sometimes she just chooses to like let somebody stay for free, if, you know. And basically we hung out for like a whole day. It was like,
see, that's the thing. This has Josh Johnson written all over it.
So-
this whole situation. This dude, I've talked before about how long he just will talk to just like people at the reception desk at hotels, and that's a good thing about you. I'm just saying this is a very much a Josh Johnson adventure app.
we hung out
Rent a
all
Josh
day
is
because
what-
I got in, right? And so I get in and man, okay, so just from off the rip, I think that's a fridge.
Oh, is that the? I was like, that's just a new one. I was like, that's
Yeah.
coming from that way.
So just off top, I get in and I message her if I can come by a little bit earlier because I was like, hey, I want to just make sure I take a quick nap before my show and everything. And I know I'm getting in early in the day, so when's a good time to check in and stuff?
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, you can come by whenever. I'm just hanging out. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I get to the apartment and she lets me in and her daughter is leaving.
Okay.
So her and her daughter had been having lunch, I guess, and her daughter's leaving. And then I sit down and she's like, we have some leftover sandwiches if you want anything. Can I feed you? I was like, oh no, I'm good. It was like hang out with my grandma. And then she just kept trying to feed me. And then we were sitting there. We were sitting there and she started just telling me stories about her family. And it was, before I knew it, it had been an hour. And I was just like, man, this lady's like the coolest.
Yeah.
And she was like, do you have any errands you want to run or anything? Like, I was like, oh yeah, I actually do need to go to CVS. And so
That's nice.
we went to CVS together. We went to CVS together, and so we go to CVS, and
I do not know how you haven't been kidnapped. Like, I don't know how someone truly hasn't taken you hostage. You wonder into these scenarios a lot.
But she's so little. It was hilarious
So she
too
wants you
because
to
she
think.
had a little. It wasn't a donut. but I guess she had an injury, and so she had a little cushion on the driver's seat, but then the cushion also seemed like it was helping her see over the steering wheel. So it looked like it was just serving dual purpose. Like, because she was talking about, she was like, now you'll have to be patient with me. I walk a little slow because I fell. And the way I had to try not to laugh when she was telling me, because I really didn't want to offend her. Because by now we're like chilling. We're like buds,
you're
right?
best friends now, yeah.
And so then she was like, oh, I fell because... And I've seen something like this happen before, so it makes sense. But basically, she fell, and then she tried to get up quick. She said she felt like if she got up fast enough, she wasn't hurt. And so she fell.
That
is
like perfect, like old person logic.
Yeah, you know, like when you're like, it's like when you're a kid and you trip, but you're embarrassed, and you're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. You try to save it.
Yeah.
And she fell, and she tried to get up so fast that she fell again. Oh. And that's where she really did the damage. And so she was walking a little slow and had like a little bit of a wiggle to, compensate. And she goes, the doctor says I'm going to make a full recovery, but I mean, at my age, what does that even mean?
Yeah, she sounds badass.
Yeah, she was like, if you do your best, you'll still have a 70-year-old hip. And so we go to CVS, and she's like giving me like mild to hot goss on everybody at the CVS. This is a small-ish town.
Oh, okay.
And so she was like, oh, the cashier there used to work at Arby's, but her service was terrible.
See right there. That is why she rents out the couch.
Yeah.
She just wanted people to gossip with.
Yeah.
And clearly
her daughter's heard all of it already.
Her daughter's heard all of it, and if she's talking shit about everyone, she probably don't have a lot of friends. So so I'm gonna just let people stay on my couch.
Yeah. But no, she would tell me, so it was the full benefit of a nosy old woman, because she was telling me about people we were passing in the car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, we would be passing people in the car on the sidewalk.
Great.
She'd be like, oh, him right there. He was... I was like, yeah, because like, I also don't care, but also I only saw the back of his head. Yeah. So it's not like we talked to him and then she's walking. Like,
I have no perspective on him. I have not seen this man. I didn't know he was there.
Yeah. Like at least the cashier, like, dropped her cookie tin. Like when she was telling me about the cashier, I was like, oh, that sparked a little memory because of the awkward thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Because she, to be fair to my older friend, the cashier did it was kind of a boss move because it worked for me and then it didn't work for her. So she rang everything up. This is her process, right? The cashier rang everything up and then opened one bag and then tried to slide everything, like scoop everything in the bag. And so I got a bunch of snacks and like a new toothbrush and some stuff. And so for me, it worked because it was like everything I got was small. And then this woman that I'm staying with got many more things. Right. And she still tried it. And so most of it just missed the bag.
Yeah. You can't do it with a gallon of milk. You can't.
she's just like scooping it off the counter, and then it just starts falling. And then as it's falling, she keeps scooping because she's like, some of it's gonna land in there.
Yeah.
And then so then we go back. I invite her to the show.
Okay.
Which she was like, oh, if I come, I'll have to like come a bit later, or you like first or whatever, and like all that stuff. And so she was nice enough to drop me off at the college and was like, I can pick you back up if you want, and blah blah. And you can ride with me if I do come to the show.
Also, I pinned my number to your shirt.
Yeah.
So if you get lost, just tell someone to call that.
There's a sign on your back that says you're my son.
Here's a baggie.
And so
got
then
a sandwich in there for you.
I do the show, and I can't remember if she came or not, sadly, because that would be very sweet if she came. Anyway, but I take an Uber back because I just don't, hear from her or anything. And she must not have come because she opened the door when she. Anyway, but then we get back inside, and she's watching, maybe it was HBO or Showtime, and she's like, a movie's about to come on. Do you want to watch? And we just watched True Story with James Franco and Jonah Hill, and she just kept gushing on James Franco the entire time. Like she would just turn to me and be like, I know he's a murderer in this one, but he's dreamy.
Luckily, he ended up being very cool in real life too.
Yeah. It's it's clearly her Hollywood crush. And then we watched the whole thing, and then
She had to be bummed a couple years ago. If she's still with us.
I guess so. Yeah. Maybe she didn't.
Maybe she passed to miss the fall of James Franco.
What if she wanted it that way? What if she was like, I'd rather die than hear a bad word said about James Franco.
Lose my James Franco.
Yeah. So yeah, we watched True Story, and I'll never
What's that one about?
forget that. That was like very cool. She was like a great stay.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good story. I like that a lot. So maybe I do need to I don't know, involve myself in people's lives instead of under them.
I guess so. I mean, it's also gone poorly. Like,
Oh, for sure.
like there have been times where
I know. I listened to this show. I know your stories are a real 50-50. Of either something great happens or something inexplicable happens. Hi.
So, the next Airbnb that you're going to, has this given you pause? Are you nervous now?
A little, because it's not that far away from the one I'm in now. And the pictures of it, it's a weird setup, but
Yeah.
it does have some amenities. Like, I mean, mainly it has air conditioning, so like that will make me happy. And windows, because it's not a basement unit. So I'll just probably be less just depressed. And this one does have windows in the bedroom, and it looks straight out to garbage. It just looks out straight into the back of the garbage cans. Not even the pile of garbage, but like just the cans are there in front of the windows. So it's not really a view.
So I have one more
Okay.
Airbnb horror that I think
Scare BnB?
maybe we should just stop.
That
the
was a
episode
good one. That
now.
was a good pun.
I'm not even saying it wasn't good. I'm saying that maybe, we both had a long day.
Right. You're saying nothing can top it. Nothing can top Scare BnB. So we should probably quit while we're ahead is what you're saying. That's what Josh is saying.
Why don't we go out of focus for a second?
Because the light is going away, so it's having trouble.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
It's having a little trouble focusing on both of us. Yeah, let's get real close now.
Yeah, my bad. Did I mess it up by leaning back?
No, that was
Okay.
fine. I was leaning back. I think I was the first one to lean back.
So now there's a light there, so this will be over soon.
Yeah. That's a really hip ice cream truck.
God, this ice cream is really hot. Do they put a lot of cinnamon in it, or? Oh, my mouth's on fire.
My God.
So basically, I have a friend. Just for all intents and purposes, let's call him Benny, just so that we can keep the story straight. Okay.
Now, Benny or Benny?
Let's call him Sam. Dick. So Sam was getting an Airbnb because he had to stay for a friend's wedding a couple extra days.
Okay.
And so it was basically him staying with his friends in a hotel for like 3 nights.
Right.
But then whenever they needed to stay a bit longer, he couldn't float it, so he was downgraded to an Airbnb that was cheaper than splitting the hotel that they were at. Because I guess they got a group deal for everyone that was in the wedding, but then the extra stay wasn't covered by the wedding.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, because you only get that deal when you're blocking off a bunch of rooms. So it's
Yeah.
like you're still putting a lot of money into the hotel, but yeah.
Yeah, and so he stayed for the wedding and then stayed a couple extra days for business and stuff.
Okay.
And he's staying at this Airbnb, and this woman is renting it from the like upstairs. So she's upstairs, kind of like your situation. She's upstairs, and then downstairs is the Airbnb. And while he's there, this guy knocks on the door. He comes to the door, and the guy is like, "Who the hell are you?" And
Jesus.
and Sam is like, "I'm staying at the Airbnb." He's like, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "Yeah? Like what? Who are you?" Like, you know that thing where someone starts interrogating you and it takes you a second to be like, wait, why am I answering your questions?
Yeah,
you know?
You have no authority over me, I think.
And then the guy at the door is like, "That I'm asking because there's no Airbnb here." And he's like, "Yeah, there is. It's on Airbnb. I rented it. I got the keys from the person upstairs, blah, blah." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he goes to like around, which I guess is how you get to the like first floor or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the person he rented from comes down, and then he walks back up to him with the woman that gave him the keys, like, "Who is this?" And she's like, "He's renting the Airbnb." And he's like, "There's no Airbnb here." And she's like, "Yes, there is." And then then the guy is like, "So you're not lying to me, are you?" Like to him. And he's like, "No." And then she's like, "Stop it." And he's like, "You're not lying to me either, right?" And you're like, "No." And then finally he's like, "Who is this person?" And she says, "This is my ex-husband." And then he's like, "Husband."
There's the whole story in that one assertion.
Yeah.
That is the entire story.
And so he's just standing there now while they argue if there's an Airbnb there. So then
And now they got to argue if they're still married.
yeah. And so he never got the full story, but he's like, this guy probably thought I was like,
Here to have sex with his wife.
yeah,
Which is clearly a suspicion already on his mind.
yeah.
Wow.
Which is, how do you leave a good review after that? Like, how do you leave a...
Yeah.
Because you're scared for a second. Because you're like... Because the guy didn't just go like, "Oh, okay," and then walk away. He was like, "Oh,
Right.
all right." It's like he just walked away.
Maybe he was really hoping to be able to stay in the basement for their trial separation, and now this is confirmation that he will not be able to do that.
Now this is just horrible.
You also can't, someone say, "This is my ex-husband." You can't just go, "No, husband." Like, that doesn't fix it.
No, it really doesn't.
That does nothing.
So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll continue avoiding people. I've gone full circle.
I didn't want to skew you and like fill your,
You want to give me optimism for people.
Yeah, no, not worth it.
Should we open up the mailbag quick?
Let's do it.
What do you want to go? We got some new ones, or should we do some of the ones that were for our 100th?
Maybe we do one old, one new.
101 new? Okay. Let's see, how old do we want to go here? We'll do this one. This isn't like old, but this is from a month back. But this is from Kyle, and it says the title is Fair Fish. And then this is interesting. You got this angle looking.
Just
at
my
me
neck
now.
was starting to hurt.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Starting to hurt bad, and I've been trying to handle it the entire time, and it's been almost an hour.
We could have done this.
No,
from the beginning.
it's fine.
Do you want me to turn this way to you too?
You don't have to, because you have to read.
Well, I can.
Why would you do it like that?
I don't know, man.
That's.
But it says, "Hey J-Lo, thought you'd like to hear that I once won the healthiest and strongest fair goldfish to ever live when I was 13 years old." Fair goldfish have come up a few times on this show, so
yeah.
I didn't know this thing would last longer than 2 weeks, so I named him Dinner.
That's dope.
That's a great name.
Wow.
Well, he lived for over 6 years. He survived the harrowing experiences of, and now there's a little bullet point list, 1. Living in a tiny bowl for 2 years. We changed the water weekly by scooping him up in a ladle and keeping him in a soup bowl until the fresh water was conditioned. 2. Overfeeding him. So just 3. My older brother feeding him crushed up Oreos.
That's a dope life, though.
This fish sounds like he's actually doing, like, that's why he kept fighting. He's like,
Yeah.
I love these.
This is great.
Dessert fish food they give me.
Yeah.
The same older brother chasing him with a letter opener. So I'm assuming that means just putting it in the water and trying to,
And just like spinning it around.
that's what
and
I'm
trying to-
guessing.
yeah.
That's just stirring.
Yeah.
We got him an actual tank-like bowl with a lid to protect him from my psychopath brother. And then finally, a glow stick accidentally leaking into his water. What kind of...
This is probably like in fish heaven. He party the hardest. Like
Yeah.
he's
got
seen
the
things
stories.
other goldfish have never seen.
He finally died when I went to college and my dad was away for the week and my mom, quote, didn't know she was supposed to feed him. She apparently thought he was a plant and not a living water being. R.I.P. dinner. Love y'all, Kyle.
That goldfish might still be alive if it hadn't been for his mother's negligence.
Yeah.
This is the closest thing to a murder.
You need to hold that over her forever. That's what you need to do. And let me look for, let's see, a new one here. Okay, this is real recent. So this is from, where's the name? I guess Don. And the title is Ayo, Heyo, Hello, J-Lo. So
Wow, fire.
points on that title.
Fire.
I was introduced to Josh's comedy via a random ad to my work playlist years ago of his earliest album, I Like You, and have been hooked into his hilarity ever since. Like many have already said before, Logan is the perfect component. I think I'm the perfect component. Okay, so I'm the only thing working about this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they mean opponent, but yeah.
I thought companion, but opponent's probably good too. Logan is the perfect component in this podcast for Josh with his unhinged laughter, antagonizing, and overall love and concern for his totes bestie. Come on. Love you.
It looks like there's more there.
Let's just sit in this for a second.
That's not necessary.
I took my mom and brother to see Trevor Noah at the Foxwood Casino in Connecticut and completely forgot that you opened for him. When you were introduced, I lost my shit and couldn't stop shaking and yelling at my bro and mom in excitement, telling them how hyped I was to see you live and in person. Wish I could have hung out there long enough to have raced you on that indoor go-kart track.
Oh, yeah.
Was there an indoor track there?
Did I not tell you about this?
Was that what we talked about last
I
time?
thought we talked about it, but...
I guess I didn't know it was indoor.
Yeah,
It's
it's indoor.
Okay, so from that recent episode.
Yeah.
There you go. I live in PA, but I won't be able to see y'all at the Punchline in Philly next week because I work second shift during the weekdays, and that weekend I'll be in DC cosplaying at an anime convention.
Okay.
Quit your job. Do the anime convention. Quit your job. Come on out. Nothing but the best of luck to you both, and hope to meet y'all face to face one day. Rating 69 nice weebs out of 5 weebs.
Thank you so much, Don.
P.S. question.
Yeah.
Have either of you attended any conventions, whether an anime, game, etc.? And who would y'all be willing to cosplay as if you did? Have you ever been to an anime convention or comic book convention?
Yeah, I've been to a couple. What did I go to? I went to one that was in Lafayette, Louisiana. I can't remember the name of it. And I think I've been to something called, I can't remember what it was. It was like half comic books, half old. Like it was a comic book convention, but it was like half like comic books and then half old, super old like TV nostalgia stuff. So they'd be like, I was an extra on Knight Rider, that thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, just kind of a regular
but I have
convention.
been to one. I've been to 2 technically because I went to Comic-Con in 2016, the New York Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to that one in Lafayette in like 2009 maybe.
Okay.
But yeah.
I've never been to a comic book I don't think I've been to any convention like that. Do car shows count? We go to car shows with my dad a lot, so that's like a car convention.
It's not really the same thing at all, but
I mean, people are dressed up there like
like
hillbillies. I mean, I think that's just how they dress. But
yeah, this whole thing is not car convention Comic-Con.
Okay, but now to answer the second part of that question, though, who would you cosplay as?
Someone said, who's the electric shock superhero that's not Black Lightning? It's Static Shock. Yeah, people have said I look like Static Shock.
What's he from?
I think DC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty
sure DC.
Okay.
What about you?
Who would I cosplay as? I don't know. What could I pull off? Some kind of sitcom dad.
I think maybe like a dad from Yes Dear.
Yeah, I don't know, Marklyn Baker from Perfect Strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I could probably, if I cut some hair, I could do early season Hopper from Stranger Things, maybe back when he was a little when he was still thicker.
Did he get skinny?
Yeah, he's skinny now. Yeah, because he got ripped for.
I'm very behind.
That's all right. Well, yeah, he's ripped this season. They worked in the storyline, but also he got ripped for the Black Widow movie and.
When you say ripped, do you mean like pants ripped from all the weight that he gained?
No.
He's very big in Black Widow. He's like out of shape in Black Widow.
But he's like way thinner than he was. Maybe he lost it for Stranger Things then. But no, he's much thinner now than he was.
I like to think some actors.
He's way more fit because he had a gut though, like in the early days of Stranger Things, and now he's like he's pretty fit now because he did it for Hellboy too. I guess Hellboy's probably what he bulked up for is what he got.
Yeah, because I like to think that some actors just get fit for them.
I mean, I think that ends up being the like bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sure but it helps if someone else is like, kind of footing the bill for it. But that was kind of like everyone always thought that Kumail Nanjiani got ripped because like Marvel made him, but like they didn't care. They wanted him to just be him, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna get
jacked.
So like that's another thing for him to just be like, nah, don't worry, I'm gonna get ripped.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, Josh J Comedy on Facebook, Josh Johnson on Twitter, and Josh Johnson Comedy on TikTok and YouTube, where we're going to be posting clips of the show. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag like those people there, you can email us joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. And if, say, I don't know, next week, let's say Wednesday, the 27th, around 10 p.m.-ish, if you feel like meeting us in person, you can come out to Union Hall in Brooklyn. We are doing a live, in-person Josh Johnson show. So we're going to do some stand-up, and then we're also going to do a full episode. We're going to do a full recording of us doing the show with an audience. We did it last year, and it was an absolute delight.
And if you can't make it to that, if you can't be at that,
sadly you're busy next Wednesday or something
because you're in Philly, we're going to be in Philly right after that.
Oh my God, for 3 whole days.
Yeah, in Philly for 3 whole days from the 27th to what?
28th to the 30th is what we're doing shows. So
and
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You got 1 show on Thursday. You got 2 shows Friday and Saturday. That's 5 chances to go. So in that chunk of days, that's 6 chances to come see us in person.
And if you don't do it, you just didn't want to. You
just didn't want it bad enough. And we all know it. You won't be a champion like the child that is above me at my Airbnb.
We hope to see you there. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great rest of the week.
Y'all are the best. See you later.
Asheville, North Carolina. Make it loud for Josh Johnson!
I've been very excited to come here. It's been years since I've been to Asheville, and I like being here because y'all y'all have it all. You know, you have like street crime and woods crime. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, this is one of the only places in America where a deer could get shot with a Uzi. You know what I mean? Like, y'all really moving out here. No, it's incredible. I was, last time I was here, we were on the road and we were headed to a show, and there was a dude. Okay, there's no good way to pop out the woods. I'm trying to be fair to him, right? Like, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know how it could have been better, but there's no good way. This dude, we're passing by in the car, and things happen fast when you're on the highway and everything. But from far away, until I passed him, I see this dude pop out going. And it's so hard to tell if he needed help or if someone else needed help. Do you know what I mean? Like, you either the victim or the assailant, but you looking like you could be equal parts right now. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like his head, like it wasn't like he had an injury or something. He's like, oh, what happened? He looked surprised that there wasn't more woods to run through. This dude popped out of the woods like there was supposed to be more trees. This man popped out of the woods and froze. And my friends and I were just looking at him in the car as we passed. One pointed and, okay. He ran out of the woods as if to be like, oh, I made it, I'm free. Or, damn, they got away. I can't tell which one it was. No, because he was dressed. It wasn't like he was a naked man, but okay, even if you're wearing clothes, there's a certain amount of legs open that make you feel naked to other people. You know what I mean? The fact that he ran out it doesn't matter that I have pants on right now. This is a very naked stance to take. This doesn't look, these aren't regular clothes stances. And so the fact that he ran out of the woods and stopped and was looking around, it's like, you might as well be naked because you're making us a naked amount of uncomfortable, you know? My man busted out of the woods. And, I wasn't next to him. I was in a car. Thank God I was in a car. But you could just tell from looking at him, he breathing heavy, which means he was running in the woods for quite a while. Looking around all low. Why? Just stand up. Like, do you know what I mean? There's nothing to hide behind now. So being this low, legs open, looking around, this is a much more comfortable position to look around in. This man ran out, and we saw him. Okay, so we saw when he busted out of the woods, we were pulling up. So we saw him bust out of the woods, and then one of my friends pointed, and I know he couldn't hear us. I know he couldn't hear us. Like you should know I know that. I know he couldn't hear us, and the windows were up. He couldn't hear us, right? But my friend was like, do you see that guy? And right when he said, do you see that guy? This man, I turned, I looked, and he looked at me. Now, I know I'm in a moving car. He probably just looking in my direction. But I screamed like he was in the car. I wanted to have nothing to do. The fact that this man, I'm lit like this, and then this man. Nah. Sometimes it's not the time to smile, Smiling after running out of the woods, I think you are the assailant. I think that you... But no, it's great to be back. It's great to be back in Asheville with you. Can I tell you a story? When I was a kid, I was walking down the street, and it's funny, man. Art can save your life. It really can. Cause I was walking down the street, and there was this dude right in front of me, right? And I wasn't like too close to him, but I was just basically keeping up pace with him. And we hit a light, and so he stopped, I stopped, and I was just looking around, and I saw a new mural that had been painted. And I don't know, it just fascinated me. I took a second to look at it, and I guess the light had changed, and we had the right of way, and he went off walking, and I was still just staring at it. And then, just as I decided that I had taken it in enough, I turned and got ready to take that step off the sidewalk. And then, in the middle of the street, this car had, I guess, run a light and was about to run another light, and it hit that guy. The guy that I was right behind, you know? And he's okay, by the way. I mean, he did get hit by a car, but like he's the level of okay that you are years after getting hit by a car. He moved on. Like, he walked away that day. It mostly hit his ass, but like it did graze him in a way that, like, because I was just a couple steps behind him, and because I've been keeping pace with him for a whole street, I was like, that would have hit me square. You know? And I mean, they were trying to stop. They had slammed on the brakes. That's actually maybe one of the reasons I turned, because I started hearing the screech, and I saw it, boom. And he got up, but he did bounce. Like, it's like, if he bounced, I would have flown. I don't know why it is when you get hit by a car, sometimes your shoe fly off. I don't know why people don't tie their shoes tight enough, but like, this thing like hit him from behind. He spun and he went up a little bit, and his shoe flew right. But his shoe took so little resistance to fly off. Like, it would be different if he had like rolled over the windshield and the shoe flew off after that. But the shoe started flying off before it looked like he was really going in the air. It looked like he had one shoe and one sandal. The shoe was so ready to fly off. Anyway. I still can't get over what happened Sunday at the Super Bowl. I want to be clear about something, right? I watched the Super Bowl not really rooting for any one team, just sort of watching to watch. This is a big event and everything. And the Chiefs lost harder than the Eagles won. I don't know if that sentence makes enough sense, but it, like, at a certain point, I was just like, maybe I could play. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not good either. I could get tackled too. Oh, that was rough. That was hard. There was one point where I was watching it, and I was like, guys, you want to watch a good game. Like, in my mind, you want to watch a good game, especially when you don't have any loyalty to any team. You just want to watch like a really fun, wow, that's crazy type game. And it was such a thrashing that I was like, y'all, not in front of Taylor. Taylor done shown up and got dressed and everything. And there was one point that they went to Taylor on the camera, and they booed Taylor. I was like, what did she do? Do you know what I mean? There's nothing America hates more, apparently, than a woman minding her business. Because even she was like, I couldn't have done anything. But I tell you what, you know, I want somebody to believe in me, to really, truly, from the bottom of their heart, believe in me the way those commentators believed the Chiefs could make a comeback. The things that I was hearing made me feel dumb. I started to feel like I didn't understand football at all the way they were talking. They were talking so wild about, so first 10 points that the Eagles got, they were like, hey, fun little fact for you. Every time the Chiefs win in a Super Bowl, they come from behind. I was like, what stat is that? All right. Okay. And then the Eagles scored another touchdown. They were like, well, it's only the first half. Anything could happen next half. It's like, all right. And then they have the halftime show. Then they come back from the halftime show, and then they're asking one of the announcers. They're asking one of the commentators, like, what was the mood like in the locker room for the Chiefs? Like, what was the plan? And the person they were talking to was like, they know. No, they know they like 34, 39, whatever points behind. They were mostly talking about that. They were like, oh, we got to go out there and correct that. That doesn't feel good at all. We got to do the opposite of that next time. Was the general mood in there, was to just be different than they were before. I think there was a little prayer. Yeah, they were in, they were in tough spirits, but they're going to try and make a comeback in this next, because, Taylor's here. We got to do it. And it was the third quarter. Eagles scored again. And the announcers came on, they're like, look, you never want to celebrate too early if you're the Eagles, right? Because you have no idea what these Chiefs could do. You can tell they're just trying to save the ratings as hard as possible to make it seem like there could be this 10-second comeback of 59 points or whatever they need. It was the most insane. I was like, no one has ever believed in me the way that they're like, you never know though. Even when it was the last 5 minutes, they were like, you never want to celebrate too early because that's how you can lose the game even when you are 99 points ahead, okay? It's the hubris that loses games. I'm sitting there like, do I not know how to count? Like, it's too many sevens away. I think they got it. Like, I'm not the best at math, right? I'm not the best at math. I needed a math tutor, and my math, okay, I was an algebra, okay. Math is like one of the only things that I really struggle with genuinely, and not like basic math, but math once it gets conceptual, right? And so I had to take Algebra 1 twice. It's the only class in my life, I think, or maybe there's one other, but it's one of the only classes I've ever failed and had to take again, right? And so I'd take Algebra 1 twice, and I was so thankful when I finally got a C after the second time, and then they made me take Algebra 2, and I was like, last I checked, 1 + 1 is 2. I don't know what y'all are trying to do to me, okay? But I was at Algebra 1, okay, I had 2 math tutors, and one tutor quit. One tutor quit because it was, okay, they were helping me, and then I was basically getting things so wrong that they were questioning. They had to get away from me before they didn't know algebra anymore. And so then I knew I was bad. I knew that algebra was never gonna be in my job description because my second tutor, there was one time we were working on a problem and she stopped herself just short of fully saying it, but she saw me struggling so hard. This woman almost said, sound it out. And she stopped herself, but you could tell, beneath the surface, there was this thing of I don't even know how to help right now. And don't get me wrong, I'm not judging. I hate when people look at the efforts of elite athletes as if they're not all incredible. The Kansas City Chiefs are good. They were just bad that day against the Eagles. I throw a football like I just got an arm. So I'm not gonna be over here judging too harshly, right? It's just the way that they fought so hard. Oh no, they can pull it out. Trust me, they can do it. You know? And then my friend shared a theory with me. This was crazy. This dude told me, I was talking to my buddy David, and David said, because I told him the thing I just told you, right? I was like, I've never seen a game like that where they've tried to make it seem so even the whole time, even though the numbers were on the screen. And my buddy David said that Tom Brady was one of the ones really pushing that narrative, and he thinks that it was because Tom Brady is jaded from the fact that off of this potential three-peat, people are already calling Patrick Mahomes like a GOAT, like putting him in that conversation. And so they're like, they're basically lifting up Patrick Mahomes very quickly and very young, very like, you could even maybe say a little early in his career for the GOAT conversation. And then Tom Brady, who's obsessed with the game and gave so much of his life to it, sees that and feels some type of way. And so he was basically telling me that every time they did that, that was actually just Tom Brady digging in. And I watched some of it again, and I think he might be right. Because it was coming off hella sassy when you watch it back with that context. Like when you see Tom Brady commentating on the game, he's like, yeah, Mahomes. I mean, you never know with these Kansas City Chiefs and how good Mahomes is. Maybe he can come back from 30 points. I mean, maybe he's just that good. We don't know, right? A lot of people are calling him the GOAT. I mean, not today, but a lot of people are calling him the GOAT. So maybe he could do it. Interesting strategy, getting sacked again. I've never seen anything, but this Patrick, he's good. He's very good. He's probably used this as a strategy to lose by so many points in the first half that he really comes back in the second half. Because he can, because he's Patrick Mahomes. You know, back when I was playing, I tried to not get sacked, but I guess if I had been sacked more and then won after that, people would be more impressed, but isn't it? And then you had the Super Bowl halftime show. By Kendrick Lamar. This was crazy because, okay, everyone has their opinions about it, right? But I know when I was watching it and it started, and I saw Samuel L. Jackson. I saw Samuel Jackson, the camera goes over to Samuel Jackson, he's like, it's your uncle, Sam. And I was like, oh, we had already started. That was dope. That was dope to have Samuel Jackson as Uncle Sam was dope. Because one thing is obviously the little like wink wink, cute thing, right? But one thing that Kendrick is incredible at doing, something I haven't seen people really be able to do, whether it's through music or imagery, is layers to a story. And there's multiple layers to everything that happened, right? Samuel Jackson is playing Uncle Sam in Body of America, welcoming us to the Great American Game. The Great American Game is in the game of Kendrick's life that's about to play out, right? That's why we see the PlayStation controller on the football field, the game as in football, and the game as in the thing that we're all in, the thing that we all play. Whether you feel like you're playing it or not, you're a part of it. You know? And one thing you have to watch out, because Kendrick leaves these Easter eggs and stuff like that, you also can read so deep into it, you go off on a deep end where if you were able to talk to Kendrick, he would be like, nah. The internet is full of them. The internet is full of like, yeah, so then he had these dancers come out in red, white, and blue because Drake, because he beat Drake blue, and then you gonna see red because we beat him so much that the red comes out and Drake is white. Like, I think that's a very misguided take. But you can get there. It's very easy to get there. You start searching, hunting, trying to read into every little thing. And if you're not careful, yeah, you go off on some deep end. That's not what anybody intended, you know? And this dude says it because that's the other thing. He sets you up with some pretty fire lines that make you start digging. He specifically says, you wouldn't get the picture if I sat you for hours in front of the Louvre. So now even I'm digging. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, the Louvre. All right. Drake is Canadian, French Canadian, the Louvre. Yeah, French Canadian, the Louvre, like in France where they keep the art, but Drake's not an artist, no. No, that might not be it. That might be, that was dumb, my bad. And so he does the snippet, some people are calling it bodies, and then he does Squabble Up, and out of nowhere, after Squabble Up, Samuel Jackson comes out again, no, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. One of the things that if you've been black in America at any point you've heard about yourself, whether you overheard it from people talking behind your back or was told to your face, too loud, too reckless, too ghetto, there's something wrong with you just being yourself. Oh? And it's delivered by Uncle Sam. Right? I don't know, when I go to like a new place, one time my friend was asking me, because I travel so much, he's like, how do you know how racist a place is when you go there? You know, don't you think about it? I was like, yeah, I think about it. You know, if you're black and you travel in America, you think about it a little bit. And I was like, you know, this is the way that I know. I'll just go to like a West Elm or a Patagonia or a Lululemon, or I'll just walk in and look around, do a little shopping, and just smile at people. And however long it takes them to smile back is probably how much danger I'm in. You know, you go into Patagonia, you smiling at everybody, hey, and you get a couple smiles back quick. You're like, all right. We're safe. But if you walk into a West Elm and everybody just looking, looking at each other too. Don't you say something. Somebody finally approaches. They're like, can I help you? I know we're not staying there tonight. So then this dude, Uncle Sam, Samuel Jackson, tells him, tighten up. He asks him, Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Yeah. Do you really know how to navigate? Do you really know what's expected of you? Do you really know what to do next? Then tighten up. And that's a wild conversation to have with someone who maybe even thinks they're helping you, right? Because that's been told to me in different ways by lots of people. Like, tighten up, watch yourself. Don't be too loud, too ghetto, too reckless. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's white people, sure, but sometimes it's older black people that I know that just want you to be safe because they know how the game is played, right? Because I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I'm not exactly a hard individual. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. You know what I mean? Not only am I not a hard individual, I remember one time, my mama tried to raise me to be a gentleman. And there was this one time, I was in college, and I'm working on a group project, and one of our classmates was ready to go to her car, and she was like, hey, does anybody mind walking me to my car? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, does anybody mind walking us to my car? I'm not a hard individual. I'm smiling at everybody. Literally, I use the smile test. That's how I know if a place is safe or not. I smile. I make myself open, right? I show. I'm no threat. And I even got in trouble with my friends one time because we were walking down the street in Chicago, and made eye contact with this cop, and he was like mourning, just a little passing mourning, and then I didn't realize it came out like this, but apparently I was like, officer. I don't remember it like that, but apparently that's how I sounded. My friends were very upset with me. One of them said I said it like I was welcoming him home. I thought I just said, officer. Apparently I was like, officer? So once again, I'm not a hard individual. So if I've got the speech, if I've got that speech, tighten up. That's too loud, that's too reckless, that's too ghetto. If I got it, damn. There's no end to the game that you can try to play with respectability politics. You can either be yourself or you can't. And if you can't, then to whatever degree that you can't, doesn't really matter. Do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up. Goes into Man at the Garden. And Man at the Garden is one of those things. It's a refrain. I deserve it all. All these things, right? And he's on the block. And you see these boys on the block, so black. Gold teeth, dreads, everything. And then they scurry. They see Uncle Sam coming. Uncle Sam walks up. Kendrick's already walked off. And he says, oh, you brought your homeboys with you. Okay, little culture cheat code. Turns to the camera and says, scorekeeper, deduct one life. And some people didn't hear it. Apparently the mixing wasn't great for everybody. So there were some people whose review of Super Bowl halftime was pretty bad, and some people thought they were just being haters. But no, genuinely, depending on where you watched, it depended on the mix that you heard. So there were little things that Kendrick said that either went over people's heads, they didn't quite hear, music was too loud, too soft, whatever. I was watching the Super Bowl halftime on Tubi, and Tubi did incredible. Tubi knocked it out of the park. I was like, man, Tubi was like, this is our chance. We cannot mess this up. A lot of people don't know we exist, and we're literally free. We have to knock this out of the park. And they did, because I heard everything. I saw Samuel Jackson turn, scorekeeper, deduct one life, and that thing hit me hard, because that is what happens. That is part of the game. You should know that. That's one of the reasons that it's sometimes scary to stand up, it's scary to be different, because whenever you build community, they usually deduct one life. Whenever you make a movement, they deduct one life. And there are plenty of examples of it happening with black people and black culture, but it is everybody, just so you know. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter when you came to this country, try to start a union. And look, it might not be you. They might miss. But it is what happens. Deduct one life. And it's wild to hear Samuel Jackson deliver that line, because Samuel Jackson was an usher at Martin Luther King's funeral. Right? Like, Samuel Jackson used to be way more militant. And I'm not saying he's not now. I'm just saying, like, back in the day, he was about that action. He'd lock you in a room and wait till you came to your senses. So then they go to Peekaboo. I don't know, it's just funny to me what Kendrick just played the Peekaboo. Nah, I had to laugh. People have so many theories about Peekaboo, about him using Luther and all the stars, SZA coming out, being on the triangle. Like, I'm not acting like I caught every single thing, but I know that when Samuel Jackson pops up again and he says, yes, see, that's what we want. That's what we want. That's what America wants. Nice, calm, you're almost there. Don't mess this up. Right? Yeah. Because if we're being honest, that is the truth of the matter. People, even sometimes people who love hip hop, love black people, love anyone different the way that people love those tigers they take pictures with. I don't know if you've ever been on Tinder. But every once in a while on Tinder, there'll be somebody with one of their pictures is just them next to a full-blown tiger, hugging them. And the tiger's sedated as hell. The tiger is over here. And they're over there hugging its neck like they're in the Jungle Book. Like, we have to protect these beautiful animals, all right? We have to preserve their way of life. Oh, shoot him again. Shoot him again with the dart. He looked like he was opening his eyes for a second. So sweet, so gentle. Deep down, they're just gentle creatures. Shoot him again. He moved. That leg. I don't like what that leg doing. Looked like he gonna get up. And that is how people sometimes, prefer their hip hop, prefer their protests. Why can't you just do it sedated? Why can't you just tone it down a notch, right? And then he plays Not Like Us. And people lose their minds. I loved him. I loved him playing it because of what he said when he started it. 40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music. They tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. That's wild. If you really think about those lines in any context outside of the Super Bowl, outside of Drake, the song, Not Like Us, everything, they still stand all on their own. How many of us feel like we're in a rigged game? And it was beautiful to watch Not Like Us get played on that world stage, Drake tried. He tried his best. That dude tried his damnedest. Not only did he try, that dude went to Australia. Not only was he not in America, he was under the earth. This man went under earth to do, to his credit, I'm not acting like he's not a big artist. I'm not acting like he doesn't have an album dropping this weekend. I'm saying, like, this dude went under the earth to do an arena show just to make sure at least these people aren't watching the Super Bowl. Can you imagine? You go to that Anita Max Win tour. You paid extra for tickets. You pretty close, and you get a little curious. Drake on stage. What is that? What is that? Get him out of here. Then, you had that dude. That dude performed Not Like Us. When I was like 2 years ago, I went to visit my friend. Now, my friend had a baby years before that. By the time I met his kid was 5, because we hadn't seen each other a really long time. And cutest kid. It's crazy that my friends are having kids because I can see, you ever see somebody who looks so perfectly like a mix of their parents? You see perfectly both of those people in this new person. And we were supposed to hang out all day, and he went and we were in the kitchen. He grabbed something for us to drink, and so he had poured himself an almond milk, poured kid something, was like, "Will you want anything?" I was like, "Oh, I'll just take that," and then poured me something. He's like, "I'm gonna just go ahead and get changed. I'll be right back." He goes upstairs, and now it's just me and his kid, and I'm like, "How you doing?" He's like, "I'm good." And it's crazy because he even had I'm just meeting this kid, but he already had my buddy's mannerism. Just that shoulder thing. "I'm good." It's exactly like his dad. "I'm good." And it's like, "Oh, okay. You having a good day?" He's like, "Yeah." You know, it's like, "You excited? I think we're gonna go to the zoo or something." He's like, "Yeah, sure, I'm excited. Be fun, you know." And then he turned around and he knocked my milk over. And this kid had been so sweet up until this point. I was sure it was an accident, right? Until he turned to me and he was like, "I spilled your milk." And when I tell you that thing was imprinted on my memory, I had actually forgotten about it for these like 2 years. Until Kendrick said, "Say, Drake." Kendrick Lamar has an incredible smile, but he always seems to use it for dastardly deeds. This man said, "Say, Drake." I haven't been that scared. I know he was talking to Drake, but even I was at home like, ooh. Like, that man whipped around and said, "Say, Drake," like he just ran out of the woods. Oh, that was crazy. That was insane. "Say, Drake." And then you see a glimpse of Serena. I couldn't believe I saw Serena dance. I was like, "Is that Serena?" And Kendrick and Dave Free must have known we wouldn't believe it was Serena, because then they showed her again. I was like, "Well, that is Serena!" That's Serena over there, crip walking. Which, if you pay attention to the layers, you pay attention to the storytelling, one of the most beautiful things about Serena being on stage, crip walking, dancing, right, is not just as a sort of FU to Drake, right? Because it is. Because her and Drake, you know. And then Serena moved on, and Drake couldn't handle it. A lot of people think that Kendrick Lamar is Drake's kryptonite, and he really isn't. Drake's kryptonite is a woman who's moved on. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that Drake hates more than a woman minding her business. And so he would make songs, little sneak disses at Serena, little sneak disses at Rihanna, all this stuff, right? He loves beefing with women who have moved on. The best way I can sum up Drake to me is, one time I was in Chicago, and apologies if you've already heard this little quick story, but I was in Chicago and I was sitting on the train, and this woman gets on the train, beautiful, like knockout gorgeous woman, right? And she ended up sitting next to me, and then this other dude gets on the train and he's sitting across from us, and he tries to holler You know, he's like, hey, sweet thing, how you doing, right? Now, this dude, to be fair, was very good looking. He was very good looking. Like when I looked up at him, I was like, oh, you two would make sense. Very good looking dude, put together, everything. And he's like, hey, sweet thing, how you doing? What you doing? Where you going? How's your night? You know? And then she looks up from her phone and she goes, oh, nah. And I hated that I was sitting next to her because I had to turn all the way around. But she goes, oh, nah. And he just sits there. Sits there for like, maybe 40 seconds. And then train doors open. And he looks at her and he's like, you can't hurt me. And then he got off the train. And that's what a lot of Drake beefs with women feel like to me. Because the layers of Serena Dance is not just like this FU to Drake. Is one, also, we're playing the game, right? We're all part of the game. And it's a black woman having a good time. Which is also pretty revolutionary. You know? And if you follow Serena, and if you follow tennis, you'll know that when she did the same dance at Wimbledon, they came for her hard. They said it was too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. And now she's doing it in front of the world. In front of the world with nothing but joy and people cheering her on, right? Giving us full circle moments. I thought that was so dope. You know? I even tried to do it. I hurt myself. I popped right up. I was like, oh, Serena! And I think that one of the most revolutionary things you can do is just have joy. Just have a good time. I watch so many people just having fun. I watch people watch it and have fun. That warmed my heart just to see so many people having a good time. I know it wasn't for everybody. I know there were some people that thought it was boring, they didn't like it or whatever. And he said ahead of time, you wouldn't get the picture if I sat you for hours in front of the Louvre. So it may not be for you, and that's okay. But I watched so many people have such a good time. It was dope, you know? And it's more than fitting. It's a blessing. It's an honor to talk with you about this, about black music, about black joy at the Orange Peel in Asheville, North Carolina, a place that in the 60s and 70s had incredible black acts, you know, was sometimes one of the few places that they could get booked, where black-owned radio stations had DJs do party nights. Like, it was great to be here, and I appreciate you having me, you know? I think that for the most part, when I think about the halftime show, and when I rewatch it for the 100th time, and there were so many people that were critical of Kendrick. It should have been more. He should have done more. He should have gone up there, been more militant. He should have done this. And it's like, look. Can I just tell you? I'm not trying to be a bummer when I say this, but everything you've ever watched that ever went out on a broadcast that you thought was revolutionary or you thought was ultra militant, was approved for you to see by a corporate lawyer. Like all of it was, you know? In fact, whenever a moment gets through that's not that thing, that person usually faces swift consequences. There are so many people that are like, no, he didn't go far enough. He could have done so much more. And it's like, look, I understand. That's what people are saying. But if you really believe that, if you really believe that he should have done so much more, I can tell you this, art can save your life. Art can absolutely save your life. I believe it from the bottom of my heart. But believe me when I tell you that entertainment will never be your salvation. All right? Art can save your life, but entertainment by and large is escapism. And no one has ever escaped their chains by forgetting they were there. So you cannot, when I tell you, you will not be saved through entertainment alone. Expecting Kendrick to rap so good that Trump is like, I'ma stop. Like, be serious. If you really believe that, if you really believe he didn't go far enough, he didn't do enough, there was so much more he could have done, forget the symbolism, forget the double entendres. He should have spoke plainly. He should have put it all out there. I have great news for you. There are these things called books, all right? There's these things called books, and every revolutionary that the government was scared enough to murder, almost all of them wrote one before they died. And they're so confident that you won't read it, they have it for free at the library. I'm just genuinely, I don't know what to say sometimes when people are like, why didn't he do this? It's like, I don't know, man. I'm not in his head. You know, he's great. You can't expect him to save you. He did an entire album where he said he wasn't our savior. The whole album where he was like, yeah, but I rap. I think it was incredible. I think it was a phenomenal show, especially in a year and a time where there are people that would have Black history disappear. You know, there are people that would have us forget. And I think the only way to stop Black history from going away is to make more of it all the time. Make new history all the time, new moments, you know? Because so many people were like, man, it was so boring, I didn't get it. And it's like, you know, it's the most watched thing right under the moon landing, but I'm sure that was hate watching. You're right. I think that whatever you take away from the performance, if it's art that touched you, that made you feel something, that's good. That's all you can hope for. But if you want like a revolution, if you want change, you're probably gonna have to go outside and get some or make some. That, like, if you want, like, because then, you know, he plays Not Like Us and then we all scream Mustard. DJ Mustard comes out, they're dancing. And one thing I really loved about the performance, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, is that almost always what people will do, the Super Bowl thing to do is go out there and play your hits. Make a medley that reminds us why we love you, right? And this dude, he did some of his hits, but he mostly did this GNX album. He even says it when they start playing TV Off. This is GNX. We came here from Compton, California to party with y'all. Master. You know? Then the Super Bowl halftime show ends after he hits that TV Off, game over, cold stuff. And then they come back. Tom Brady's like, well, let's see if Patrick Mahomes can like really bring it home. Like, he's so good. I've heard he's great. I've heard he's fantastic. So I'm sure he can come back from this 2,000-point deficit. No, for real though. If you want change, art can save you. Entertainment will never be your salvation. And so if you really want to see a different neighborhood, a different country, a different world, you probably gonna have to turn TV off.
Dallas, Texas, please make some noise for Josh Johnson!
It is crazy to me that everybody, no matter who you are a different person to everybody that you know. Like, we have the idea in our heads, we understand that we're different to our parents than we are to our friends, than we are to our coworkers. But I mean, like, every single person. Just because of when we meet each other, how we meet each other, what we mean to each other and everything. I have a friend from growing up. His name is Squish. And Squish got his name because he's pretty accident prone. In fact, the way I met Squish was he was walking and this kid was in the cafeteria and he stepped on a pickle. And this kid flew. He stepped on the pickle like he stepped on a Hot Wheel. I didn't know pickles had that type of movement. The pickle didn't even disintegrate. He just stayed on it perfectly, like a roller skate, and couldn't stop himself like a Looney Tune. One leg in the air, one leg on the pickle, and couldn't seem to get off. And he was screaming the whole time. Ah! This man was Janelle Monáeing across the floor in a panic. Ah! And this kid slid into some trash cans hard. And so I run up, some other kids run up, and from then on he was known as Squish. And Squish is, some of his accidents aren't even his fault. Like, we had a classroom fish. Was floating in the tank, swimming around and everything. And, you know, it was a different person's turn to feed the fish every day. And whoever fed the fish last didn't close the slide in the top of the tank back. And so the fish popped out of the tank, landed on the floor, and was bouncing around a little bit. And Squish just happened to be walking by. And we all screamed. We were like, no! And he was like, what? Squish's #1 accident that solidified his nickname and his understanding to us as a clumsy person actually happened on a field trip to Dallas. Yeah, so we were all hanging out, getting some food, because the field trip was like all planned out. We had a thick itinerary, and so we got to have lunch at this Italian place, and Squish got some spaghetti to go as well. And of course, throughout the course of us walking around, he trips and falls on his spaghetti. But he doesn't just trip and fall on the spaghetti. He manages, normally when you fall on to-go plate, it stays where it is. This kid fell and somehow managed to get all of the spaghetti from his stomach to the top of his head covered in marinara sauce. It was like there was more marinara sauce on him than there was in the to-go plate. And unfortunately, it was a field trip to the book depository. So if you were passing by, all you saw was a kid covered in marinara and spaghetti on his head going, help! I remember when Squish got married. I remember when he had a kid, and I remember when his wife told him, and is wild because when she told, I wish he had been doing a bit or something, just making a cute little joke for the two of them. But she said, we're pregnant, and without missing a beat, he went. Because now Squish has a kid, and this kid calls him Dad. That's wild to me. It's wild that the people that I grew up with are upgrowing people. That feels crazy. That genuinely feels unacceptable. That the people that I grew up with are making new people that don't know what they're like. Because I know these people. This kid calls Squish Dad. I'm like, oh, that's not Dad, that's Squish. No, you weren't around, but. No. And I'm thinking about it so much because I am older now than my parents were when they had me. And it sort of recontextualized every memory. Because every year that I get older and I'm just going about my life, I think about how they were the age that I am now, but with me. I'll have a bad day and think, oh, this is the worst, and not thinking about how they used to hang out with me, but not when I was like fun. They had to hang out with a version of me that couldn't read. So you're already having a bad day, and now somebody that can't read is making it worse. You picking them up from school, they sitting in the back all, and now you have to try to figure out what's wrong with somebody who can't read. Because they won't tell you, one, because they're a kid and they're being all secretive and everything, but also because they can't read, so they don't even know the words to describe what they're feeling. You gotta do charades to see what's wrong. That's tough. You know, like I think back how my mom, a lot of the moms of the kids that I went to school with, like when you're a parent, I can't imagine being a parent. I cannot imagine being a parent right now, being a kid right now. I feel like I barely did all right with what I had, you know what I mean? When I was growing up, because I have a lot of empathy for the people who are trying to like raise a good person, doing your best to just make a good person. And the way I look at it, the way I look at life lessons is a lot like lunch. Because, you know, as the parent, the person who has knowledge, the person who's trying to do what's best for your kid, you can make them the best lunch possible. And when I say the best lunch possible, I mean like actually everything that they need. There's vegetables, there's fruits, there's some protein in there. You go ahead, you got the fiber. Everybody forgets the fiber. You gotta get your fiber. You don't want to be full of protein and no fiber. You just be sitting there stuck. You did everything. You got vitamins and minerals in there. You got things to keep them hydrated, give them energy, make sure the bones grow, make sure the brain's healthy. You did everything. And then you send them to school with that lunch. But then it's up to them. Once they're not around you, you don't know. You have no idea. You know, maybe they're going ahead and they're taking out like the one sweet thing in that lunch, and then they just dump out the rest. I went to school with a girl just like that. She loved lunch. Lunch was her favorite because she was a wheeler dealer. She was a broker at lunch. I've never seen anybody finesse like this before. She would start lunch with one snack pack. She would end it with 16 cookies. And we would all have been had and we didn't understand how. We all just sit here, no treats, because she had mixed us up so much. She was the only person I've ever seen in my entire life during lunch going ahead and selling cookie futures. She was over here like, you know I'm good for a snack pack every day, all right? So you give me the cookie now, I'll give you a snack pack tomorrow. Now, that snack pack, you're gonna keep it for a little bit, but you know he's gonna have M&Ms on Thursday. And she did this every day. Every day she finessed the entire class out of everything. And her parents made her a good lunch, but just, we're not really trying to hit that celery right now. Not when we got delicious brownies homemade. And after a while, it took some time, but after a while she showed up to school and she had this rash and she was always tired and stuff. And we found out later that her parents had to take her to, the doctor, and she had scurvy. In the modern age, it is damn near impossible to get scurvy because every day, even by accident, you slipping into vitamin C. You know how many treats you gotta be eating with nothing good to hit the scurvy? This little girl had scurvy, like a Caribbean pirate. Because her parents were doing their best for lunch. They prepared her as best as possible. They gave her everything good. But then when you're around your friends, when you're alone, a parent can't know what's going to happen after that. Like, there's a show on Netflix called Adolescence. And I watched it. And I think it is a very well-made show. Out of all the critiques I've heard about the show, and there are plenty, I have not heard anyone say that the acting isn't phenomenal or that the camera work isn't incredibly interesting, But it's a tough watch, and it's heavy, and it brings up a lot of things I think are important to talk about because it's sparked all these conversations online. It's the most watched English-speaking show in Netflix's history, and there are people being like, oh, finally we're discussing the way that misogyny has creeped in online into every facet of society. And then there are other people being like, no, it's a moral panic. Like, these things are bad, but we're blowing it out of proportion. And so that discussion I do feel like is important. And only one person, this was one woman I was talking to that was like, it's my favorite show of all time. And I was like, ugh. Favorite all time ever? Did you watch the whole thing and that's your favorite thing you've ever watched? I'm not judging, I'm just saying that's a lot like being like, my favorite place to go is the dentist. It's like, all right, I mean, it's good that you went, but just you telling me that makes you feel good? You love that? You love somebody just playing in your mouth like that? Quizzing you while flossing you? That's your favorite thing? It's just as odd to me. Teach their own. But I do think it's really important that we have these conversations, and it started making me think about my own life, When I was little, I didn't even know what it would mean to have a girlfriend, really. And I only think I thought about girlfriends because adults would like pitch me on the cheek and be like, oh, you're so cute, you must have a little girlfriend. You got a little girlfriend? Be like, nah. You're not around the rest of the time. I'm actually quite a lot. But there was someone who I used to eat lunch with for a little while there. And sometimes we'd eat lunch for the whole period of lunch, and sometimes she would just come over, to make sure we chatted before lunch was over. And we would always split my cookie, right? I'd break my cookie in half and we would chat. And I knew that I got to do every day at school my two favorite things, which was talk to her and eat cookies. No. And so she'd come over, we break bread, cookie bread, we break bread and everything. We talk about all sorts of stuff. And I didn't know what it would be like to have a girlfriend, but I knew if I was gonna have a girlfriend, it would be her, right? This is who I like talking to. It's who I like spending time with. It's the only person I'll share my cookie with. And one day, I was walking to the monkey bars, you know, get some swings in. It was good to get the shoulders working. And when I got up to those monkey bars, I wasn't right up on them. I was still at a distance, but I saw her kissing a boy. And I was distraught. I saw them kissing. I was like, no! I didn't even think of kissing! Is that what boyfriends and girlfriends do? Hey, you know, we little, so they not even really kissing. They more just butting heads and everything. But even so, I was torn up. I was like, no! We share cookies every day. She get my cookie crumbs all on his lips. And I didn't go up to the monkey bars. I went to the little castle that we had on the playground, and man, I cried. I was torn up, you know. And I didn't know what to do in that moment. I didn't know how to fix the way I was feeling, and it felt like I had done something wrong, even though it was just life happening. You know, this person was still someone who I liked very much, but I was like, no, what to kiss? Did the cookie mean nothing? You know, I was so torn up. When we went back to class, I couldn't even learn. Teacher sitting there with a word problem. Simple word problem, trying to get me to hit that 3 + 4, and I was like, 3 kisses plus 4 kisses is one broken man. And I think it's the discussions that are arising because of the show, I think are important because whether it feels like it or not, we are all each other's responsibility. And I think that there's something happening, and it's happening to young men, it's happening to boys, where these things online, whether it's, you know, whatever, red pill, manosphere, whatever you want to blame, there's a certain rhetoric that at least fills in some blanks and tells you this is the way that the world is, this is how you fit into the world. And it's an assuredness that the people around you don't seem to have. Because when that happened, when that kiss happened, you know, when you're a kid, you see things in black and white. You haven't lived long enough to find nuance in between every experience. And so I didn't see that as like, oh, this is my friend, but she happens to like this person or also like this person or like this person more. I internalized all of it. I was like, no, she likes him because I'm ugly. That's gotta be what it is, right? Or she hates me and she likes him. Everything has to be very distinct. And that's tough. I think it's something that we would hopefully be better at recognizing, because it's the same thing that happens to young women. You know? Like when I was a kid, especially when I got to be a teenager and stuff, I was angry. I had all the regular problems. It wasn't like, anything extra was happening. But one time an adult sat me down that I was talking to for a long time, and they said something that stuck with me ever since, because I was just telling them how I felt about everything, about how I felt about myself and the world and the people around me, and it all stemmed into this one question. They were like, who taught you to hate yourself? And I couldn't answer it. Because the truth is that I don't know if it's that explicit, and I don't think that it needs to be. When you're young and you're just trying to make your way through the world, I think it's a balance that gets created with the people around you and with yourself, and it's easy to tip, you know? I don't know if anyone was running up to young women specifically making sure that they felt like they were ugly. They just told them that everything that wasn't them around them was beautiful. And so then you have something very similar happening to young boys right now that's coming from all these different directions. And I don't think it should ever be a contest. I know one thing impacts another thing, and there are people that when someone is hurt, they become hurt too as a result. But I think that it's not really about who has it worse when we all have it bad. Sometimes when somebody's going through something and they're open about it, if it's not the person that we decided to band around, right? If it's like a unique person going through something and they're sharing it, sometimes the response, instead of being empathy, is almost backlash, right? They're going through something and they're being open about it, and people are responding with like, oh, boo-hoo, you'll be fine. It's all good, right? But this person is coming to you earnestly, and they're going through something, you know? Like, we don't really, if I'm being honest, we don't really talk about the like body dysmorphia that a lot of men have. There are men packed into gyms trying to look like the action figure. Meanwhile, the action figure doesn't look like a person. Like, that's not, like, your knees aren't supposed to be as big as your head. You're just never gonna get there. That's not how people are built. No one does that. No. And even more than like body dysmorphia in men, the thing that I don't think I hear anybody talking about is strength dysmorphia. I know a lot of men, good men, who have looked at a box or a pool table or a TV and thought to themselves, I can pick it up. We are losing more backs in this country to men's strength dysmorphia than anything else. Strength dysmorphia is the #1 cause of hernias in men. Because then you'll try to help. You'll try to be that person, to be there for them. Be like, hey, wait until we can get some help. Don't do it by yourself. And they'll be like, you don't think I can pick it up? And you're like, it's not about me. Your knees don't think you can pick it up. Your legs don't think you can pick it up. Your back doesn't think you can pick it up. Your glutes don't think you can pick it up. One time I was on a road trip with some friends, and we heard it when the tire popped. We heard it immediately. So we pull over, right? And our friend who was driving, it's his car. He had everything ready to go. Had the spare tire, everything changed the tire, except he forgot the jack. So then our friend Jack says to us with a straight face, all right, everybody just, y'all get in position and everything, get ready to change this stuff, and I'll just pick it up and y'all change it, I'll put it back down. I had questions. I was like, pick up what, change what? He was like, no, look, y'all pick it up and, you know, start changing, I'll put it back down. It may take us a couple tries, but we'll get there. There are two types of people who can pick up a car. One are strong men. And by strong men, I don't just mean men that are strong. I mean actual competitors, like strong men. All they do is train and work out and lift heavy things. They almost look like the action figure, but they're not quite there because your knees are only going to get so big, right? But they got very big shoulders, big head, everything, big arms, and they pick up boulders and they put them on top of stuff. And then sometimes they pull trucks. They have the chain and they pull, and you can see that tire moving a little bit. You're like, he is moving it. Wow. You can watch it on ESPN too. That type of man. That man right there, he'll never turn around fast, but he can pick up a car. You touch him on the shoulder, it's gonna be a while before he gets to you. But he could pick up a car, okay? He will never kill a fly. He's not gonna be that quick with it. But if you need a donkey murdered by punching it in the face, he can get that. It's dead. That's one of the type of people that can pick up a car. The second type of person that can pick up a car is a mother whose baby is under the car. And even in that scenario, she can pick up the car because the part of her brain, out of concern for her child, that would normally say, girl, think about your joints, has shut off. It's not like she picks up the car, gets the baby out of the way, and is fine afterward. Her ligaments are shot. But she can do it. So unless, bro, you've been doing some exercises that we haven't seen, or there's a child under the tire that you care about very much, I don't think this is gonna work. And he's like, you don't think I can do it? I was like, it's not about me. Your legs don't think you can do it. Your back doesn't think you can do it. Your glutes don't think you can do it. But he wanted to try. And so everybody got out of the car. Everybody got in a position. You know, one friend was there with the spare tire. Other friend was there getting ready to start unscrewing everything. I didn't have a job, so I just stood there, you know, as a witness to record, you know. And we know that there is a way to work out. We know if you want to lift, there's a way to do it correctly. You're trying to deadlift, try to squat, you get your legs shoulder width apart. You go ahead and make sure your knees stay in line with your feet so you're not buckling one way or the other. You go ahead and put your butt out when you're trying to pick it up. You keep your back neutral, keep your core engaged and everything. You lift it up, make sure your neck is neutral and stuff. We know all of these things. This man got in the weirdest position I've ever seen in my entire life. This man got, okay, so he got under the bumper like, okay. Y'all get it? We were like, no, it didn't move, because it's a car. How long did you think you were lifting it? What world are you in? And he's like, oh, you know what? That's my bad. That's my bad. No, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. I'm going to turn around. Turn around. You know that lift that's famous for being much easier, where they go to the Olympics and they put the bar behind them to pick it up. You know that thing that we've all seen before? This fool turned around, put his back to the car, like, okay. the nerve to be like, y'all ready? Y'all must have got it that time, right? And we're like, no, it didn't move because it's a car. You can feel yourself not moving it, right? And I knew he was hurt this time because he just wanted to walk off. but he was still in position. He was like, I'm done messing with y'all. Y'all not even serious. I can't believe it. Over here doing my job for me. That's right. Don't apologize. Let them think I earned those extra laughs. No, but the truth of the matter is that you have the same thing happening, you know? We kind of, I'm not saying we figured it out, but we kind of addressed it with the Barbie in theory. And there's something that's like laid out all across the internet. And it's made me think about the question that I was asked: who taught you to hate yourself? And I finally answered it in my own head. It's probably, whoever taught you to hate yourself is probably selling you something. That's all it is. We recognize it. We've learned to see it with women when it comes to makeup, when it comes to a certain fit, all that stuff. But with men, you don't see it called out in that same way. Because trust me, all these dudes, all these manosphere bros, all these red pill dudes, every single one of these guys is also selling a course. Oh, that's curious. I thought we were brothers and you wanted to help me get girls. Why are you selling me? Okay. And some of it, we have to remember, because all of these people, no matter who you're talking about, young boys, young girls, all these people are very young, they're very impressionable, and they're trying to get a sense of the world. And you can fill the lunchbox as best as possible. But one thing that's assured is that all of your best qualities will not just be passed down. I wish it was true. And you can fill that lunchbox with as many good things as possible. But it then is up to them, when they're with their friends, when they're by themselves, to actually look at what's been given to them and not just trade it for a bunch of junk. Because now you have parents who feel like out of nowhere they're meeting a new person, a person that they didn't raise. They hear these things being said that they never taught their kid, and they're like, where did this come from? And some of it, not all of it, but a good portion of it can be blamed on being online. I think it's a mistake to just say that it's online throughout. Just go ahead and throw away the phone. Don't let the kid get on the computer or anything, because the people posting these things are real people out in the world. So those ideas are running rampant in the world anyway. But I do think that it's in how algorithms are built. You know? You show genuine curiosity for one thing, and all they're trying to do as a company is hold your attention, keep you on the platform. So they see you choose one thing, so they send you more of that thing. And so it sends you down a rabbit hole. We always blame ourselves for falling down a rabbit hole, but it is what's served to us after we just watch one thing. You know, you watch one alpaca kick somebody in the chest. And then socials are sure, they're like, this must be his favorite thing. Let's go ahead and keep running them. You know? And I'm blessed that I am who I am. I was born when I was born. I have my own problems, my own worries and everything. The hardest life you're ever gonna have to live is your own, which is why I do my best not to judge anybody, because I think genuinely that if I had been born as them in a different time, I'd probably be just like them. You know? And so I truly believe that one of the it's so funny when somebody tries to start a clap, but y'all aren't like feeling it. It's like I don't say anything for claps, but every once in a while somebody feels moved to clap, but then they realize it's not like a everybody clap. Like, No. I didn't want to, but I didn't. You know, let me earn it. But the truth is that, like, when it's that easy, I think we have to look at these problems as interlinked. You know. Because people talk about incels, they talk about people who've taken the black pill, all that stuff like that. And you gotta recognize truly that these like incels, whatever people end up calling them, they don't really hate women, they hate themselves. That's where all that comes from. And I can only imagine if I was a kid now and I came home and I got online and I typed in to Google or any platform, especially social, why would she eat my cookie but then kiss somebody else? I'm in for a world of trouble. I'm immediately, with one prompt, getting into some really bad stuff. Because I bet you, because the people online are not necessarily talking to anyone. They're speaking to their own experiences and broadcasting them, projecting them on other people in every situation. And so if I type that in, I'm not getting back the answer I would get from an adult that's like, hey, look, these things happen. Maybe this person knew that you liked them. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe the same thing would have happened either way. I know that's hard to hear, but there are so many people in the world. There's billions of people in the world. There are more people in the world than you can count right now because you're not great at math. That's what, to me, I'm not acting like I'm an expert. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a sociologist. I haven't met every person. I don't know what everyone is going through. But to me, that's the key. That's what solves it. When people are like, what do we do? What do we do? You just stay in each other's lives as much as possible. You know? All of this missing stuff gets filled in by the internet because we aren't there to do it. And I don't just mean parents. I mean like real community. I mean everyone that you know. Do you tell the people in your life that you know that you love them all the time? Do you never let a day go by without the people in your life knowing and feeling like they're loved by you? It just takes you. It only takes you. And so when you have something like that happen, you type it, you come home, you're crying, you're like, ooh, why was she with the cookie and the kisses? I'm not likely to get someone who's gonna give me a solid answer, an answer I can take to the rest of my life. You know? I'm probably gonna get somebody coming on, big old shoulders, being like, that's right, that's what women do, they take cookies. And best believe, brother, she's coming for your cookie tomorrow. And next time she won't want half, she's gonna want the whole thing. That's why you gotta shut these women down before they get your cookie. If it even gets that specific. I remember I was in college. College was the first time that, like a lot of people, that I was out of the house, and I was really out there by myself. I had to make all new friends. It was good for me though. I had to just get acquainted with a new environment, and I had never been somewhere where it was all up to me. Go to bed whenever you want, do whatever you want, eat whatever you want, right? As long as you're getting good grades, nobody really cares. As long as you're not causing a bunch of havoc, no one's gonna say anything. And I made a friend when I was in college, and we had a conversation one night that was genuinely transformative, because when someone opens up, and I'm not trying to be particular here, but it's true. When someone opens up, especially a man that's never opened up before, what happens next in that moment is crucial. It's incredibly important. Mishandling that moment almost guarantees that not only will the wall go back up, it's gonna have another layer of bricks. It's gonna be even harder to break down. And we just got to talking. I don't even know who shared first, but he told me things. He told me about his anxiety, depression, his feeling, his lack of purpose, all the things that he thought that he was missing in the world, and everything that he thought he was not worth, and things he thought he would never get. And it was all just like coming out so earnestly. And so then I did the same. I told him things. I told him about my anxiety, my depression. I told him about everything that I was going through, how I felt about myself, how I felt about the world, the people around me. Like nothing would really matter if I was here or not, right? And we shared for a while. And then when it was over, we realized like we were the only people we had told these things to. Everything else, we expected to just take to the grave, and we had just told it to each other because there was someone there to listen. And I know sometimes it can happen where like a man opens up to you and you don't know what to do. And so I'll give you one tip. If you really don't know what to say, if things are coming at you and they're things you would have never imagined coming out of this man's mouth, just hit him with a word. It won't fix everything, but it's a good placeholder. Because as men, sometimes word is all we really need. We're like, yep, you get it. See, you get it. But truly, we shared a lot, and in that moment, we didn't know what to do, so we just hugged it out. And don't get me wrong, it was a manly hug. You know, we tightened our arms around each other and we hit the pats. That's how you hug as a man. You go ahead with the. Watch the end of Top Gun Maverick. Both those men ready to cry, and they still do. I don't know what to do, so I gotta hit it. And it was a long hug because, once again, these are things we thought we would never be able to tell anybody else, and we're holding on to each other tight, and we're patting each other back hard. And I'm not proud of it. But eventually, I did burp. And what happens in the moment that a man opens up to you and you open up to another man is crucial. When I burped, I was like, nah. I'm never opening up again, okay? What I look like? I just poured my soul out and I got burped by my boy? Never. Nah, we not on that. Oh. But I genuinely believe from the bottom of my heart, for every person, no matter how you feel, and some of that feeling is going to be advertisements shooting at you. Oh, you'll just be whole when you have this, when you get this. Someone trying to sell you something, trying to make you feel less so then you can be at least level after they give you their thing. But truly, I hope everyone can really hear this and understand this. If you are in the world You know, I remember when it was told to me for the first time, it also stuck with me. If you're part of the world, you must be worth the world. And I hope that everybody can feel that way, that you're really worth the world, because you're here. You know? And I think about it because there's a whole new generation of people coming up. They're dealing with something we've never had to deal with before. Like I think of Squish's kid. I was very nervous when Squish became a father because he has dropped everything I've ever seen him hold. He's one of the clumsiest mans, it's insane. But he is kind, and he is generous, and he has a good heart. And it'll be a better world if Squish's kid is like him. I hope that that's possible. I hope he can turn out just like his dad. It'll be a better world. It'll be a more haphazard world. Like it'll be a different type of dangerous, but